I was going to talk about, what's up, Ricardo? Got Ricardo here today. You're welcome to come tomorrow also, Ricardo. We're going to be at the listing in Thornwood. We're going to do, I guess, do like a photo op day. So just like a realtor. I'm probably just going to be in casual clothes because I'm going to be talking about the boiler and talk about the oil tank, and maybe I'll look at some of the defects and details of the house. And I don't want to be in a suit. I'm always in a suit. So
Okay.
I'd probably just be in like a Barada sweatshirt, but everybody else want to show up, dress like you want to be in pictures, right? We're going to
What
be at the
time?
house, I would say between 12 and
You wear a
12:30.
suit then. Okay, perfect. We'll be there.
So we could just meet there, and it's going to look like a party. We actually have an offer on it, and it's not a full price offer. And the seller agreed to put central air in, but it's not close to asking. So he said, I'm not selling the house. I'm not putting central air in if I don't get a higher price. So the buyers are on the fence. They're not exactly sure they want to do that. So we had an offer, but it wasn't accepted. You know, I can't control my seller, but my seller did promise. He told me, get me anything over 800 and I'll put central air in. I got him an 825 offer on an 849 listing. It was decent offer. It's certainly well above 800,000. And he said, for 825, I'm not putting central air in. I said, that's what you told me, and that's what I told them. He said, oh, I don't care, I'm not doing it. He said, central air is going to cost me $18,000. I said, 18,000, you're still netting 807. I don't understand how that doesn't work for you, but he had a problem with it. So now I asked the buyer to go back to the house. I said, if they want to come up, he said, I'll split it with them. So I said, come up 10,000 and he'll come down in this way. He'll put the central air in. He's got to come up at least 10,000. So this way, 10, and then he's got to come up with another 8,000 to put in the central air, then he'll do it. And so right now, I still have a stalemate. I don't have a sold house. And he doesn't realize the longer this thing sits on the market, it looks like something's wrong with it to the public. Even though the house is magnificent, it looks like something's wrong with it. We're not going to be able to do an open house there on Saturday unless somebody wants to, because we're going to be at the Dobbs Ferry Street Fair most of the day, but it is available to do an open house. If I wanted to, I might do an open house on Sunday, depending on how I feel. I might just do one myself. And you know what happens? Vicky did that before. She said, nobody wants to do an open house. The heck with all of you. I'll do the open house. And what happened, Vic?
The buyer walked in and
Buyer walked in. She got both sides of the deal. And they were like, sorry. It was somebody else. That would have been somebody else's buyer. And nobody wanted it. She said, you know what? I promised my seller I was going to do an open house. So she said, nobody wants to do it. She doesn't need to be doing open houses. She's got a ton of stuff going on. So she said, I'm offering to somebody else. Somebody want to do an open house? Come on in, do an open house. Nobody wanted. So she did it herself because she promised her seller she'd do an open house. Buyer walked in the door, bought the house. It happens. It happens all the time. And most people don't realize the value of an open house, especially if you haven't got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And you still get to post a lot of free content.
And there's a lot of buyers out there with no agents.
There's lots of buyers out there right now with no agent that are just dying
and
to buy
or not faithful to their agents, so they'll go to you.
Right.
Yeah, there are a lot, because a lot of agents are like, I'm not going to go shopping. Why don't you go look at a couple open houses and then call me and I'll put the offer in for you. Look at my face. My face is still so puffy from my allergic reaction. Didn't go down yet. All that skin had to go somewhere. It didn't retract yet. Anybody else have that happen? Reacting to shellfish? Hugh, you said your face blows up, right? Shellfish?
Yeah, shellfish. My feet and my fingers swells up.
Yeah. The
I
skin
got-
has
I'm
got to go
allergic to
somewhere.
apples. Don't give me apples, I'll die.
Yeah. So this is no good for you right here?
Oh no. Die.
Yeah. I think if some things, I know my niece, if she even touches one to her lips, just to take a bite, the lips, they're just touching it, her lips like the Nutty
Yeah.
Professor. Remember the Nutty Professor? That's what my face looked like the other day. Nutty Professor.
No, I have a question regarding a client.
Let's hear it. That's why we're here.
Okay, so you know that client that you told me about, Nick, the correctional officer?
Yeah.
So he sent me a screenshot of the rental application, the section that says bank name, bank phone number, and account number. So he has an issue with that. He's like, "Oh, why do you guys need that?" And I'm just like, "Well,
They don't have to fill that one out
they don't have to fill out the section of the bank account
on the application.
for
The
the
one
rent."
online,
Yes.
he doesn't need to put that in there. They definitely don't have to put your bank account number in there. Absolutely not. It's not a required field.
Because it's asking for bank number and account number. And that's why it's not letting him go through.
On a rental application, I've never seen that on there. I don't know why that would be on there. But,
Okay. So
let me and see. Just say if it's a required field, and we'll figure out. Just tell them then, back out of it. It might be new. I don't think it's that it belongs there. It shouldn't be there. He should not have to put his bank information, and we don't want him to. We don't want that. I'm
okay.
uncomfortable with that too. I would absolutely not fill that out.
Okay. And also he still hasn't signed a disclosure. He was like, "Oh, I have to speak to my wife. I just don't know if I want to work with you exclusively." So
Okay.
he's
Then
gonna like
I'm gonna go pound salt.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with people? Like, they think like you're gonna use me and then go work with another realtor. Like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with you?
Forget it. Not happening. Don't want to sign the paper. That's not a problem. I appreciate your time and your effort, but I can't take you out for at least exclusive to the stuff I show you. And if you want to very, nicely explain to them, there are people call us up from the internet. Like if you were somebody that we know, it's a different story. But people call us from the internet all the time, and then I show a whole bunch of houses, and then they just go straight to the landlord and skip over me. And this is what I do to make a living. This is how I buy my food and pay for my car payment. You have to turn it into that. I mean,
Right.
people don't understand that. They just think that because they're watching, what's his name, Sirhan on television, that we're just walking around. Everybody's walking around with like $7 million in the bank, and
It's not like that.
this is how I buy food, pay my rent, and pay for my car and my cell phone. And it's happened before. So if we've had people that just come in and they don't sign the papers. We show them a whole bunch of stuff, and then I go home at night. They go knock on the door, talk to the landlord, and they do a deal, and I don't get paid. And I just wasted a day that I could have been with somebody that I'm going to get paid. I still got to eat. I got to pay. Would you like to go to work and work for free? I've had conversations, not as abrupt, but I've had conversation with people just explaining like, this is how I make a living. Imagine walking into PC Richards, tell me all about that washing machine, everything else, and they go through all this time, and then they go, you know what? The guy told me where the warehouse was, that it comes from Sea Caucus, and you know what? I'm going to go right to the warehouse, and I'm going to buy it for warehouse prices if it was possible. I'm just saying that just go right to the warehouse and say, screw that guy. I'm just going to go to buy the washing machine. He calls you the next day, and he goes, hey, Jenny, when are you coming in to buy that washing machine? Oh, I went straight to the warehouse and I bought it myself. Sorry, thanks. What the hell?
Yep.
That's not how you do it.
I'm gonna send him like a nice email because that's what
Yeah,
I
listen, you know what? First, get them to complete the application. First, tell them we don't, I don't know why that's on the application, but see if it's an opt-out, that it's not a required field. If it's a required field, tell him that, let me speak to my broker, and I'll see if we can give you a different type of application, and then we'll just get him a different application. I don't know why that's on there. It might be brand new. They might have changed something. I don't like it. I'm going to tell them that I don't like. If it stays there, I'm going to have to change companies that do our screening, because I don't like that. Thanks for watching our Lunch and Learn. I hope you're enjoying it. When you get a chance, you should go check out this book, Balancing Act. It's available on Amazon. Just Google Balancing Act, Joseph Barata, and it'll come right up. It's available on Kindle. It's available in paperback. Get it, read it. It's not just for real estate people. It's for anyone that's in business wanting to function in their business and enjoy life. Get it, read it. Let me know what you think. Thank you.